What up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Soh At Home. My name is Sahela, and in this episode I'm going to be sharing all about my Murphy bed. If you've been following me for a while, you will have seen that I have just completed a basement renovation, and during that basement renovation we did an underpin which left us with a concrete bench right here. And since this is our home office primarily, I thought, wouldn't it be great to have like a spare bedroom when we needed it? So that's exactly what we did. We've added a Murphy bed on top of that bench. I thought it would just be a great use of space, and we're really happy with how it's all turned out. I did buy a kit off Amazon to make it a functional Murphy bed, but that came with like standard legs. So the first thing I had to do, because it's way more elevated off the ground as your standard Murphy bed, we had to extend those legs. I also just completed a very easy mirror cube DIY. It's like a little IKEA hack that I think worked great in this room as our nightstand. So I'm going to be getting into that as well. But if this all sounds fun and interesting to you, I hope you enjoy this episode and keep watching. Before you dive into this DIY, you'll need to do some quick math and a little shopping. To make one mirror cube, you need one small IKEA lac table and 5 blood lawn mirrors. Since the mirrors come in a pack of 4, make sure to grab enough for your project. While you're out at IKEA, you'll also want to hit up a local hardware store for some construction adhesive and painter's tape. For this build, we'll actually only use the legs of the lac table, so you can set the tabletop aside. Apply some adhesive to each leg before flipping them over and lining them up perfectly with the edges of the mirror. Standing them up, add glue to the exposed sides of the legs and press the next 2 mirrors into place to form your outer box. Pro tip here, push the legs gently from the inside to help spread out that sandwiched adhesive and get a really secure bond. To keep the edges tight and the cube sturdy while it dries, lock it all down with some painter's tape. Once the sides are secure, apply glue to the top of the legs and add your final mirror piece to close up the cube. This is what it should look like finished, and here's a peek at the inside structure if you flip it upside down. You're going to want to give these 24 hours to dry fully before stacking them to form your pedestal. I stacked 4 of these cubes together to get the perfect pedestal height for my Murphy bed nightstand. With the bed made, it was time to bring in the cubes and give them a good wipe down. It's almost impossible not to get adhesive on your fingers and on the mirror while working on this project, so I used Crud Cutter and a microcloth to clean the glue off, followed by some Windex to give it that shine. To finish the look, I accessorized with this IKEA Fado globe lamp and a pink candle. I also added some adhesive cable clips I got from Amazon so my charging cable never slides out of reach. Finally, it was time to sit back and admire my hard work. Alright friends, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Soh At Home. I hope you enjoyed this one and gave it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, you can always leave those in the comment section below. I've also linked the blog post that goes along with this episode in the description, where I share, more photos and a little bit more information, maybe a link to that kit. So if you're interested in learning more, go check that out. Other than that, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye!